Continuous integration and continuous deployment, or CI/CD, is the bridge connecting the raw code developers write to the live software users actually interact with. Automating that exact pathway is no longer a luxury for software teams. It is a strict requirement to ship anything reliably. But when it comes time to build that automation, teams find themselves staring down two entirely different architectural philosophies. On one side, you have Jenkins. It's an open-source heavy hitter that has dominated the industry for well over a decade through sheer brute force flexibility. On the other side is GitHub Actions, a newer tool natively integrated directly into GitHub to make the entire process as frictionless as possible. We aren't going to declare one of these tools the universal winner based on a random list of features. Instead, we are going to look at how you map the right tool to your specific team context. Deciding between these two platforms comes down to a single overarching trade-off, deciding whether you need total control over your infrastructure or frictionless convenience for your operations. If we look at this chart measuring customization power against maintenance overhead, Jenkins drops into the extreme top right. Its entire architecture is built around the premise that you will host it yourself on your own servers or dedicated cloud instances. Because it lives on your hardware, your team retains absolute, granular control over the entire build environment and every piece of security data. But taking ownership of the hardware means assuming 100% of the operational overhead. Your team is solely responsible for ongoing server maintenance, software updates, and security patching. GitHub Actions takes the opposite approach. It lands lower on the maintenance axis because it is a fully managed cloud-hosted service built natively into GitHub. This lean setup is incredibly fast, and GitHub takes care of all the underlying infrastructure running your builds behind the scenes. The sacrifice here is that your team cannot dictate server-level configurations, and your deployment pipeline is entirely dependent on GitHub's operational uptime. Owning your infrastructure means you are burdened with maintaining it, whereas renting it means you are forced to trust it. That same DIY philosophy extends to how Jenkins handles integrations, relying on a massive, community-built plugin ecosystem that has been expanding for well over a decade. This deep library grants developers exceptional flexibility. If you have a highly specialized, niche, or deeply legacy tool, there is almost certainly a Jenkins plugin to integrate it. This diagram illustrates what that looks like in practice. Jenkins sits at the center, branching out into a complex web of plugins. Over time, managing those interconnected parts creates heavy maintenance overhead, update fatigue, and very real vulnerabilities when older plugins are abandoned by their creators. GitHub Actions opts for a smaller, rapidly growing ecosystem of pre-built integrations, simply called Actions. Because these actions are standardized, they snap together cleanly, providing fast coverage for the vast majority of modern, common CI/CD needs. However, if your pipeline demands legacy tools or specialized requirements that the newer GitHub ecosystem hasn't replicated yet, your team may hit a brick wall. Infinite flexibility creates a web of infinite maintenance, while curated ecosystems give you speed at the cost of niche capabilities. We also have to address the financial cost structure, which usually starts with Jenkins' reputation as a free, open-source tool with zero upfront licensing fees. But treating Jenkins as truly free is an illusion. The actual cost of the software is just hidden in your daily operations. Looking at this chart for total cost of ownership, you can see the reality. The Jenkins software license is zero, but teams have to factor in the heavy costs of server hosting, raw compute power, and the expensive engineering hours required to keep those servers running. GitHub Actions operates on a usage-based pricing model for private repositories, alongside a generous free tier for public code. As you can see by the near-zero operational labor block, this creates a predictable billing structure that scales effortlessly for small and mid-sized teams without draining your engineering resources. The trade-off is that as your team grows and your repository usage scales up, those direct platform costs will increase linearly right alongside it. Jenkins ultimately costs you expensive engineering time, while GitHub Actions costs direct platform dollars. And in software development, time is almost always the more expensive currency. The right choice between these tools depends entirely on your team's lifecycle stage and specific compliance requirements. This decision tree shows the first major filter to apply. Does your industry mandate strict, highly secure on-premise infrastructure? If the answer is no, follow the tree down to the second filter. Are you an established enterprise team with highly complex pipelines already in place? If complex Jenkins pipelines already exist in your organization, the immense effort required to rip them out and migrate away is rarely worth the return on investment. Therefore, Jenkins remains the undisputed choice for enterprises prioritizing absolute security, on-premise control, and bespoke legacy integrations. But what if you are a newer, agile, or mid-sized team already using GitHub for your source control? For those teams, GitHub Actions has become the modern default choice, precisely because it minimizes infrastructure management. By removing the friction of server upkeep, it allows developers to focus entirely on writing code, maximizing immediate developer velocity. You should not pay for extreme configuration flexibility with your engineers' time unless your underlying architecture strictly demands it. Teams should optimize their architecture for velocity right up until the exact moment compliance forces them to optimize for control.